Hey everybody, hope you're doing great. We are reading the Quran. We're going through the annotations review that I did in my first reading, and we will not begin the Sahih International until we finish looking at the annotations. Right? Okay, so before we get started, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. On 146, I annotated, those who behave arrogantly on the earth in defiance of right, them will I turn away from my signs. See, this is also interesting because arrogance is so hard to get rid of. Man, that is one of my vices. It really is. Especially when I get around other alpha females. It's like a rooster energy. It just comes out. It's very hard. But I can't be pious, and I can't be in a spiritual mode if I'm being arrogant, right? And I've been getting better at not being arrogant. Just having an inner peace, you know? Even if they see all the signs, they will not believe in them. And if they see the way of right conduct, they will not adopt it as the way. But if they see the way of error, that is the way they will adopt. You know what's interesting? That's same with cattiness, right? You become arrogant, you see somebody henpecking, you see cattiness, you're just like, okay, I want to have a piece of that meat. Kind of like hyenas around a wounded wildebeest, you know what I mean? There's a lot of truth to that. For they have rejected our signs and failed to take warning from them. And you do get warning, like, if you see a sign, you know, you see this interpretation of, like, maybe I shouldn't do that. You get an inner moment and you're like, nah, do it. And then you do it, and then you get into some trouble even if there's a warning sign, you know? Quite interesting. I know I'm not the only one who realizes that. I'm sure many of you do as well. And on 156, and ordained for us that which is good in this life and in the hereafter, for we have turned unto thee. He said, with my punishment I visit whom I will, but my mercy extendeth to all things. That mercy I shall ordain for those who do right and practice regular charity, and those who believe in our signs. Practicing regular charity. I did my mom some charity. She's struggling. She might have to be committed again to the mental hospital. But I got her some food to help her out. And then on 176 I annotated, his similitude is that of a dog. If you attack him, he lolls out his tongue. Or if you leave him alone, he still lolls out his tongue. That is the similitude of those who reject our signs. So relate the story. Perchance they may reflect. And it's interesting to use the dog example because they're using the negative example, you know, of the dog. A dumb dog. There is some dumb dogs, but there is some smart dogs. But the worst is dumb dog. They're super cute. Very hard to manage. Very hard. Hard to teach a dumb dog. 179. Many are the jinns and men we have made for hell. See, that's, to me, is even more scary. Because there's jinns that are just going to hell. Which means they're doing naughty things. Which means you have to watch out for them. Which means, how do you know, you gotta just... Woo! Yeah, be careful, man. Can't punch a jinn. They have hearts wherewith they understand not, eyes wherewith they see not, and ears wherewith they hear not. They are like cattle, nay, more misguided, for they are heedless of warning. You know what's interesting is that you have a sheepdog. He can round up some cattle. Some cattle will come when you have like ding 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 ding. It's like a little triangle. You can do that, and the cattle will come. But if you don't put an electric fence or a barbed wire fence and have a good sheepdog, they will wander off into the road. You know, they don't really pay attention sometimes, cattle. 184. Do they not reflect? Their companion is not seized with madness. He is but a perspicacious warner. Exactly. Do they not reflect? You need to make time to make sure you can reflect, right, family? Oh, and then on 186, I also annotated wandering in distraction. Walk down whatchamacallit, Times Square in New York. The constant, just like, it's just too much, man. It's too much sensory stimulation. I get it. That's why I put my prayers on an alarm now. Alarm goes off. Ding, 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 ding. So even if I get absorbed into my own world, boom, that alarm comes up. It's time to go. So I don't wander in distraction, because with someone with ADHD, I get distracted a lot. But you gotta work on it, right? You have to be guided. You can't be distracted away. It's where the remembrance comes in. At least for me, that's how I interpret it. How I apply it, essentially. 188, also. Say, I have no power over any good or harm to myself except as Allah willeth. That is a powerful statement. It really is. I keep saying it. But it feels good to be like, hey, do the best I can. Do the best I can. If I had knowledge of the unseen, I should have multiplied all good, and no evil should have touched me. I am but a warner and a bringer of glad tidings to those who have faith. 189 as well. Is it he who created you from a single person and made his mate of like nature, in order that he might dwell with her in love? See, dwell with her in love. Not lust, not that hot, sloppy stuff. No, purity, love. When they are united, she bears a light burden and carries it about unnoticed. When she grows heavy, they both pray to Allah their Lord, saying, If thou givest us a goodly child, we vow we shall ever be grateful. When she grows heavy, yeah, around 8 months, man, you start feeling that weight. One of the best feelings, though, man, is when you feel their little feet kick you. I used to drink cold water. My little one, she'd kick my tummy gently. You can put your hand on your belly and feel it. It's amazing, man. It's so amazing. 200. If a suggestion from Satan assail thy mind, seek refuge with Allah, for he heareth and knoweth all things. I've been doing that a lot. You have no idea. Literally no idea. Especially when you detox from watching adult images. I've been good. It's been a long time now. Almost a year. I'm not watching anything like that. It comes on in my favorite movies. Skip it, to cut it out. And it's fascinating how I'll say, like, A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. I'll just say it like when I get panicky. When I feel like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Don't say this or don't do that. Don't look at that. Don't do this. You say that in your head and you're like, as many times as it takes for you to be like, oh, okay. I have control of the situation. Because it is quite weird how all of a sudden you'll get like flashes in your mind of something. And you're like, it's like this weird impulse. And you're like, where is that coming from? It's coming from your brain and your own behavior and your own habits and things like that. And, external stimuli. But you gotta push it out. You gotta fight against it. Instead of just receiving it and like rolling around in the mud, as they say, of those dirty thoughts, you push it out. So say that and just push it out. Makes a difference. A lot of people don't think it does, but it takes work, but then the proof's in the pudding. 201 as well. Those who fear God, when a thought of evil from Satan assaults them. So you see, I've been having that, people probably say, why are you saying that kind of secret? But if you see somebody very attractive, shut it off. Think of this way. That's it. It's quite interesting. You just think about your Creator. Bring Allah to remembrance when lo, they see aright. This is true. It is true, man. If by remembering, you can really help yourself battle against it. Especially if you really want to, fight someone or put them in their place. But you fear, man, if I do that, I'll probably get a horrible punishment. It's just, it helps. It helps me at least.